What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today we've got another live fantasy football mock draft for you back on FantasyPros with a 12-team full PPR mock where we will be selecting 11th overall. Should be pretty interesting. Our roster: 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and then 5 bench spots. But that's pretty much it, so let's get into it. And while we wait for this thing to load, a quick reminder: if you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Let us hear in the comment section along with any other questions you guys might have. We'll do our best to answer them all. But with that being said, let's kick this thing off. Before getting into our breakdown, I want to highlight the sponsor of today's video, OddsJam. OddsJam continues to be the place that I use for all of my sports betting research, from the NFL, NBA, MLB, to daily fantasy and everything in between. But don't just take my word for it. Let me show you firsthand all the amazing tools OddsJam has to offer. Starting with their positive EV tool, which identifies situations where a single sportsbook has mispriced their line compared to the rest of the market. They're basically willing to pay a lot more so that you bet with them compared to the other sportsbook. At the end of the day, you're getting the best odds, essentially a mathematical edge and guaranteed money in the long run. But also available is OddsJam's arbitrage tool, which shows situations where the market is so mispriced that you can bet on both sides and guarantee a risk-free return. OddsJam's calculators show you exactly how much you have to bet on the over and under and what the respective guaranteed risk-free return would be. There's also OddsJam's Sportsbook tool, which consolidates all available market info, over 200 sportsbooks, and provides updates in real time and allows you to see line movement. But my personal favorite is their Fantasy Optimizer tool, which is great for those using PrizePicks, Underdogs, or other daily fantasy sites, as you get to see discrepancies between all of these sportsbooks. Imagine PrizePicks has a Patrick Mahomes line at 200.5 passing yards, and all other books like FanDuel and Underdog have this line at 230 passing yards. Well, getting the over 200.5 on PrizePicks would be an absolute steal. Guess what? OddsJam does that for you. And the good news is, if you sign up today and use our code PIGSKIN, check the link and promo code in the description of this video, you will get 25% off your first month. OddsJam also has a 7-day free trial, so you get to try before you buy. So don't waste any more time and sign up for OddsJam using our code PIGSKIN today. Now, we are here on the clock, and let's quickly take a look at what has transpired so far. And very, very interesting draft so far up until this point. We're used to this. Justin Jefferson, a bunch of wide receivers to kick off the draft. Christian McCaffrey, the sole running back in the first 7 picks. This is probably the biggest extreme that I've seen as far as no love for the running backs. Because after McCaffrey, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, CeeDee Lamb sneaks in the first round. I think that's way too high for him, personally. I think you can make the case that guys like Stephon Diggs, Davante Adams, Garrett Wilson should all be above him. Now here, we have the last 3 picks, all running backs, kind of on the other side of the spectrum. Bijan ahead of Austin Eckler. I don't like that. Eckler at the 109 has got to be the best value you're ever going to see in the first round of any mock draft. And then Tony Pollard at the 110. Now, here, I know a lot of times we've kind of been doing the situation of, going running back, especially if we're picking towards the end of the first round. But let's try maybe a little bit more of a balanced approach. Let's go with a running back and a wide receiver, something like that, because I think we're going to have probably our choice of guys. Like, I think if we go wide receiver here, we're at least going to have either Saquon or Nick Chubb fall to us. And then, conversely, if we go running back first, then we're going to have at least a Stephon Diggs or a Davante Adams or a Garrett Wilson. I don't mind either way. I think all those guys that we mentioned are good options. Let's go with Stephon Diggs to kick things off. And then just depending on what happens, we will make our next selection. So after our Stephon Diggs pick, just showing you the draft board, it was Saquon Barkley, then A.J. Brown. Okay, again, A.J. Brown's a guy that I don't think you should be going ahead of Davante Adams, ahead of Garrett Wilson, ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown. We went Stephon Diggs. Now, let's add our running back. I've been saying this before. I've been getting higher and higher and higher on Nick Chubb. he's still there. I want to do a little bit of a balanced approach here. So instead of going a second pass catcher like an Amon-Ra, Devontae Adams, or a Garrett Wilson, I'm going to go with Nick Chubb at this point in time and get our RB1 to pair with our wide receiver one. So then there's not a huge drop off from position to position, and hopefully we'll be able to still find some pretty good value in the third and fourth rounds. But let's take a look, more importantly, at these next couple of selections and point out if there's anything crazy here. So Amon-Ra, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson. DK Metcalf going that early is bananas. That shouldn't be the case. I think you can argue that he should be going in the third round. Also, huge red flag. Christian Kirk going at the 306. Do not pay attention to that one. Christian Kirk should not be going ahead of Calvin Ridley. I don't like that. Just wanting to kind of draw attention to it. A bunch of pass catchers here in the middle portion of the second round. Obviously, we went with Nick Chubb. Derrick Henry falls to the end of the second round. Then Chris Olave, then Josh Jacobs. I would expect the Josh Jacobs stock to go up and up a little bit again, more of a middle end of the second round selection, especially now that his deal is signed. Josh Allen, Najee Harris, Ramondre, Joe Mixon, then Christian Kirk again, big red flag, T. Higgins, Jalen Hurts. So again, the person that selects the last of the three elite tier 1 quarterbacks benefits the most, getting that quarterback a full round later after Patrick Mahomes, then Mark Andrews, and Damian Pierce. So a couple things to point out here. Obviously, somebody like a Jonathan Taylor is still on the board. Huge name, but we know that he's going to miss the first 4 games of the season with his standoff. The Colts didn't remove him from the PUP list, so as a result, he is going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season. Now, what's going to happen afterwards in terms of the standoff, I really don't know. I still maintain he's going to play the majority of the season so that he can, get eligibility for this year one way or another. But it's really intriguing. But obviously, that's why he has fallen so much. However, at this value, I still think he remains a steal. Just again, whether you want to take the risk on it or not. Now here, I'm probably going to go wide receiver, and then I'm going to go next best available running back. I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley here. He's my next highest ranked wide receiver. And if we go running back here, somebody like a Travis Etienne. I'm seeing who else we have. That Miles Sanders is somebody that I like. Madison, James Conner, Rashad White. So a lot of names, but I think I can also go with another wide receiver. I already have Nick Chubb, so going Amari Cooper. I'd rather kind of avoid it. I don't want to bank too much on one offense. So maybe here we go with DJ Moore. And the way this draft has gone, I think we could maybe gamble on the running back a little bit. And let's see what happens. I'm kind of curious to see if the gamble will pay off. I'm going to go with DJ Moore, and then let's see what running backs are available. Let's see. I anticipate there's going to be some type of running back run, but it'll be intriguing one way or the other. The reason I didn't take a running back there, I thought a lot of those guys could fit in that running back 2 spot, and I thought at least one of them would be available in this next round. So TJ Hawkinson, then Travis Etienne, Ayuk, Aaron Jones, Lamar, Drake London, Breece Hall, Debo, Amari. James Conner goes at the end of the 4th. Damn. Okay. I was hoping he'd be there for us. Jonathan Taylor, so drops to the start of the 5th round. I don't think he's going to last that long in typical drafts, but we'll see. If people are nervous, then I wouldn't be shocked. Kenneth Walker, Godwin, Joe Burrow, Kamara. I would kind of compare the Jonathan Taylor situation kind of with Kamara, right? Kamara's going to miss the first 3 weeks of the season due to suspension. Jonathan Taylor just 1 more week. The thing is, we don't know what's going to happen with Taylor afterwards. J.K. Dobbins, Javonte Williams, Hopkins, and Justin Fields. So here, by my count, there is a running back that I actually really like, Miles Sanders. And then if this thing falls our way, I'm going to get Alexander Madison with the next pick. But let's see if we're lucky enough. I'm going Miles Sanders. Madison is still there. Look, we could go Trevor Lawrence here, but I think getting Alexander Mattison at this point in time, starting running back, is a really, really good combo. And having him flexibility as a bench guy, too tough to pass up. We could be going with a Darren Waller or George Kittle, but I think this is going to be a prototypical draft on my end where I'm just going value picks at the two most important positions, those being running back and wide receiver. And then we are going to piece together tight end and quarterback afterwards. So looking at this thing, yeah, I mean, as you expected, obviously, run on tight ends, Goddard, Pitts, Waller, Kittle, that all makes sense. I think you could argue Kittle should be going a lot earlier. Trevor Lawrence goes at the end of the 6th round. Then in the 7th, Marquise Brown, George Pickens, great pick on Marquise Brown. Pickens, Akers, Daniel Jones, Rachaad White, James Cook, good value on those guys. Dak, Jahan, Dalvin Cook, Brennan Cooks. So now if we go with a quarterback, we could do a little bit of a stack. We could go with Deshaun and Nick Chubb, and then we could go with somebody like if we went tight end, Evan Ingram, potentially, right? I mean, we already have Calvin Ridley, so that's a little bit tough. Honestly, what I think I might do here is go with another guy that I really like, and that's Jordan Addison at the wide receiver position first, and then I'm going to go with the quarterback. So let's do that. We're going to go with Jordan Addison, looking at the wide receiver position, and then I'm going to add this stack of Chubb and Deshaun Watson. I think we're going to get another quarterback at some point down the line, and somebody that I really, really like at quarterback is Aaron Rodgers later on. I think we're going to be able to get him no problem. So now we can kind of pay attention to tight end. We've punted on the position. I think Dalton Schultz is a decent pick, right? The next highest ranked tight end, and we need help at the position. Other tight ends that I like as well, probably guys like Everett, Sam Laporta. I continue to mention their names, but let's go Dalton Schultz, a proven vet. So we're going to scoop him up with this pick and then probably go with Aaron Rodgers with their next to get depth at the position. So unless there's like something that's screaming value at running back and wide receiver, just looking at it, I do like Elijah Moore. Not a bad pick, but I'll just go get Aaron Rodgers right now. I don't want to risk not getting him. I'm really high on him. I think he's going to have just a break. I mean, it's tough to say breakout for Aaron Rodgers. Like I just think he's going to have a great bounce back season. So we do that. Yeah, that's fine. No other quarterbacks are really taken. Whatever. We're going to make our final two selections here and see what draft grade we get. I'm looking at this thing, other impact guys. I don't mind Allen Lazard as the number 2 with the Jets, and then getting another tight end. I think that's how we're going to do it. So looking at the wide receivers, I'll have to add him manually here. So let's add Allen Lazard to the squad. We add him, and then we are going to go ahead and get our final tight end here, which will be probably, again, going upside this time. I've done Laporta a lot. Let's do, if he's there. Oh, actually, Gerald Everett is no longer there. So I guess we're going to go Laporta, and we're going to call it a day, folks. But kind of running through the roster, Deshaun Watson with Aaron Rodgers. I like that combo. Nick Chubb. I think we got a good situation with the running backs. Chubb, Sanders, and Alexander Mattison. Wide receivers, Diggs, Ridley, DJ Moore, Addison, Allen Lazard. Tight end is really the only position we punted on. I think we got arguably 2 top 10 quarterbacks. So we get a C+. I think you could argue it should be significantly higher. I think, B- at the lowest, but B+ type of grade. I think we did an exceptional job considering where we drafted, not having to necessarily reach on certain guys, and getting excellent value at those role players, running back and wide receiver. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Agree, disagree, along with any other questions you guys might have. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future